Spooktacular, spooktacular, spooktacular. Hello again and welcome back to Mark Twain's Midlife Dolly Crisis, and in this spooktacular episode, which is more scary than normal because I've actually forgot to put moisturiser on this morning, we are going to be looking at a creepy doll because we are getting closer to Halloween, and that is this gal here. So this is a Shadow High doll. She's called Reina Glitch Crowne. I did just look her up. Her signature colour apparently is midnight. This one might be even more scary because I'm very worried about what her body might look like underneath all this kind of black clothes that she's wearing. And I have had her in this box for a while. Her release date was 2022. I think it was towards the end of that year. And she was part of the second season of the Shadow High dolls. I didn't intend to buy this doll. I think the reason that I got her was the reason that I got quite a few of them, which was towards kind of the end of the original run for Rainbow High, when we knew that the slime dolls were coming and there was going to be this kind of weird soft reboot. And I kind of thought, you know what, it's now or never. So I just bought her. I'm kind of glad I did. She's got a very kind of witchy vibe about her, which I like. But there's also that kind of sort of techno, sort of technology, sort of digitally thing. Obviously the name Glitch kind of makes you think of computer stuff, really, I guess. I think her focus, oh, she's fashion focused. I thought it was going to say, I literally thought that with a name like that, it was going to be like software or something. But no, it's fashion focus. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to get her out. Obviously she doesn't come with a second outfit. She does come with a few accessories, which are just here. It looks like she comes with a few more than the last Shadow High doll that I unboxed. I think that was Lavender Lynn, and she was from actually the third series. We seem to have kind of less stuff again. So, yeah, so let's get her out and see what we think of her. So we're going to have a very quick look at the box, and hopefully there's not too much glare coming off the front of the box. So this one is obviously the sort of the pared back packaging that Series 2 had. The first series you got basically a second outfit, so the box was bigger, but with this one you don't get that. You literally just get a few kind of accessories. I do think the box is actually very pretty, and obviously there's this image of her on the front which you can just about make out in this kind of silver holographic sort of line drawing of her. I think it's actually very effective. Also, it kind of means that there's no sort of like blank space here on the front of the box, and it frames the doll very nicely. There's lots of different colours on here. Obviously it kind of fades into this sort of more sort of darker tones on this side of the box, but it's kind of less rainbowy. It's much more sort of towards the kind of the darker range of colours. Obviously she's front and centre, and we've got Shadow High written on here. If we turn the box around and we have a look at the back, so this is when they basically stopped putting the whole range of dolls on the back of the boxes. They were literally just giving us kind of 2 or 3 on each one. So this is Reina or Glitch with Rex. I think it's Rex McQueen, was it? I think it was Rex McQueen. It's interesting because she's called Reina Glitch Crowne. So yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? But it says on the back anyway, fashion doesn't have to follow the rules, and neither does Shadow High. Watch out, Rainbow High. We're coming for the runway. So that's great, isn't it? That was kind of setting up the whole rivalry between the two schools. So I am now going to get her out of the box and get all the stuff out, and we will have a closer look at her and see what we think. Before we bring on the main event, which of course is Glitch herself, I thought that we would have a look at the accessories that she comes with. Now, for some reason, I presumed that the second series of Shadow High didn't have the second outfit, but came with quite a lot of accessories. She doesn't seem to come with that many, so maybe that was just me making that up. I can't really remember. I don't know if I have opened any of the second series of Shadow High yet. I think I have, but it's probably been a while ago, so I don't necessarily remember. So this is basically the accessories that she comes with. So obviously we've got the stand, which is pretty kind of normal. This one is, I would say, a very sort of dark blue or dark purple. I think it's not quite black, I don't think, and there is glitter throughout it, so it's kind of got like a silver glitter through it, which is quite cute. But yeah, I do like having stands with dolls, and it's great when they come with them, certainly. So I'm not going to knock us getting a stand. So that is the stand. We've then got the brush, or the comb, and this comes with an SH, of course, on the handle part. And again, this is kind of that sort of deep purple or deep blue, maybe midnight blue or midnight purple, I don't know, and it's got the silver glitter through it as well. So this is the Shadow High version, and obviously that means we've got studs along the top. I don't think the Rainbow High version has got that. I think it might just have a stripe or something. So yeah, so that's the comb. We've then got these hangers. So it's kind of nice that they come with this, although obviously they don't come with a second outfit to put on it. But yeah, so there's these kind of two sort of purple hangers. One of them's got shadow along it, and it's kind of a regular one. And the other one has an SH on it, and it's one of those kind of clippy hangers that you can clip things to. Just you know, in the clippy bits there. So that is the hangers. So there's a few smaller bits here. So this is a mobile phone that she's got. There's some sort of messaging thing going on. I think she's talking to Rex McQueen by the looks of it, because his name is on the top there. The back of it is just grey, but it does come with a phone case, which is this here. And on the back of the phone case, we've got Shadow High, or SH, in that kind of glitchy effect, hence the name maybe. So we can pop that in there. It's kind of nice that they come with the cases, I suppose, as well. And also, she can actually hold that because it's got one of those sort of weird, sort of finger nodule-y things on the side there. And then we've got this, which is a makeup kit or set. There we go. And we've got a real mirror there as well. I mean, obviously it's kind of a stick-on one, but it does kind of work as a mirror. And we've got her colours here for her makeup. So we've got a black, a purple, a kind of pink colour, and a darker pink colour. That's actually quite cute, and there is sort of a design on it with sort of studs and then a kind of a head. I don't really know who that's meant to be or what it's meant to be. It looks a bit like a ram. Maybe it's meant to be Pan or something. And there's nothing on the other side. I don't think she can hold this, unfortunately, because there's none of those things to attach it to her hand. But yeah, so that's the compact there. And then finally, we've got this, which is a microphone and stand, which I don't really understand, but yeah, she comes with this for some reason. Now, the mic does come off, so she can hold this because it's got this grippy thing at the top. And it says shadow along that side and nothing on the other. I think I have one of these already because I opened a doll whose name I can't now remember, but she was kind of like an acid green colour, and she was part of a band, and I think I got a microphone with her, I think. So it's probably the same design as that, but maybe just different colours. But it's quite nice. There's lots of sort of detail on it in that we've got a base with studs all the way around there, so that's quite nice, and they're sort of painted silver. And then we've got a sort of a silver body with this bit here, which is meant to be where it adjusts, and that actually does move around. Oh, actually the whole thing is moving around. That might be why. I thought that bit was just moving, but no. So it does actually move on there. I don't know if it's meant to. And then we've got the bit at the top, which you can clip the mic into. And obviously the mic is kind of this purple colour. And as I say, it's got shadow written on it as well. So that's the mic. Now let's look at the doll herself. So here she is. I have to say, I'm really glad I got her. She's a really interesting looking doll. I really like the colours. Obviously I love the kind of the black and this kind of weird sort of glitchiness of her outfit. Her hair is actually really nice. So it's kind of like an ink blue, but there's also kind of almost purpley bits in it as well. There is a bit of product in it. Most of it is quite soft, and then for some reason, and I don't know why they do this, I guess it's maybe just to keep it sort of separate in the box. I don't know. But there is a bit of product in, but that could easily just be sort of washed out, you know, under the tap or whatever, and then brushed, or you might be able to brush it out. It's not the worst hair for sure, and as I say, the majority of it is very, very soft. It's very nice. It has a real gloss to it as well, which I also really appreciate. It's up on the top of her head in this sort of ponytail, and then we've got hair that kind of is wrapped around the base of it. So that's quite nice. I don't think I've got any with this kind of hair before. If we go to her face, she does have kind of quite an unearthly look. She's got a very pale face, but also it's kind of blue or purple. I can't really tell. It's a very kind of light purple, I think. It looks white almost, but there is a hint of, I think, purple or blue in it. She's got a few sort of baby hairs around her forehead there. They're just painted on. She's got sort of charcoal eyebrows, and her makeup is very sort of monochrome in that it's kind of grey, really. So, actually, monochrome isn't grey, is it? Monochrome's black or white. Well, look, she's got grey. She's got grey makeup and stuff. So she's got eyeshadow, which is grey. We've got a bit of silver as well going on there for the eyeliner. And then we've got black around the eyes as well. She does have pink blusher just below her eyes there. And then her lip has got a sort of an ombre grey effect on it, which is actually very nice as well. She looks great. I really like her look. It's obviously very kind of gothy, but there is that sort of whole techno edge about her as well. I mean, mainly in obviously the outfit, but we will get to that in a second. Let's have a look at her earrings, which are pretty amazing as well. So I don't really know what's going on, but we've got this head detail again. So this was also on the compact or the makeup set that she came with. I'm not really sure what that's meant to be. It could be the school symbol for all I know, but I've never watched it, so I couldn't tell you. But yes, we've got a head there, and then we've got this kind of bit here, which almost looks like a butterfly's wings, but I think it's meant to be the silhouette of the head thing, which is in the middle. This is kind of like a holographic, purpley, sort of shiny, metallic-y material. I would imagine it's probably easily broken. It feels quite delicate as it is. I'm not going to fiddle around with it too much. But yeah, it's the same on both sides. Actually, I don't know if... Yeah, so this is purpley, and then it's got like a green tint to it. So it's kind of interesting that they're two different colours. They do come out, I'm presuming, because they all seem to come out, yeah. So you can remove them. That's kind of good, because sometimes the hair does get tangled in them. So it's easier to take them out sometimes than trying to detangle the hair. So that is the earrings. So if we go further down, she's got a very interesting outfit, and I have to be honest, there were a few Kimble tags in this to kind of keep it kind of around her. It's mainly these sort of long bits at the back, which they put, you know, Kimble tags in to try and keep it in the box nicely, I suppose. That said, there weren't that many in her. Sometimes you kind of find that they'll put Kimble tags in the costume and then attach it to the hand and all sorts of annoyingness. But there wasn't too many in this. I really like this outfit. I think it's quite spectacular. So it's got a very high neck there, which has got a shape to it as well. So it kind of dips down at the front. The sleeves are sort of balloon sleeves. They're kind of quite puffy, but again, it's a really nice silhouette to give her. And then we come down to this sort of short skirt bit at the front, and we've got all of these sequins all over it. So there's black and silver ones, and they're kind of like, it almost looks like a random pattern. But yeah, there's kind of long bits, and then there's There's lines that are sort of a mix of the silver and the black. But yeah, so it's a really nice effect. You can kind of see them shining there. And then we've got this sort of long bit at the back. So these kind of like tails have got, again, the sequin effect. We've also got some embroidery effect on it as well. And we've also got shadow written on them in various parts. Hopefully you can kind of see that. And it obviously, again, is very kind of glittery and glamorous because of the sequins. I think against the black as well, it just really sort of sets it off. It almost reminds me of kind of like a dinner jacket with tails at the back. But obviously, you know, they don't tend to go that far down, and they don't tend to have sequins on them either. So that is that part. I think what I might do is I might remove this and we'll have a look and see this other sort of look that she's got underneath this. So I've removed the tunic so we can see what she's wearing underneath. Now I thought that it was basically a bodysuit that she was wearing, but it's actually a two-piece. So we've got this very kind of form-fitting top here, which again has got a high neck to it. And then we've got all these kind of amazing sort of glitchy colours sort of all over it in this kind of digital sort of look. There's loads of different colours in there, and we've also got a sort of a silver in it as well, which is shiny. So that's actually really nice. Obviously it does it with Velcro at the back as well. And then we've got, at the bottom, we've got these, which are, I don't know if they're leggings or tights or what, but the shoes are actually attached at the bottom, which is very, very odd, but it is shadow high, so what do you expect? Again, this has got all the same colours as the top, so it is kind of like a two-piece. And again, we've got sort of areas of black, we've got all this kind of digital sort of glitchy details sort of all over it. There's no Velcro on this. This will literally just go up or down. I am interested to see if she does have any staining. So I might just remove this and just check her over. Okay, so I did have a look and I pulled down the tights. I didn't take them completely off because I'm not sure what the situation with the shoes are. But her body seems fine. She doesn't seem to have any sort of staining on it at all. I don't know if it's because the backing of this material is kind of like a white. So that might be helping in this instance. Also, obviously she's had this on for a good few years. I mean, I didn't buy her in 2022. I probably bought her in 2023, probably. So, yeah, even before I got her, she was wearing it for a couple of years, perhaps. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. The other thing I should show you is that she does have a black manicure on her fingers there. Hopefully you can see that. And she doesn't have those kind of really long nails, which I do appreciate because I don't really like them. But yeah, so that is her. I'm going to put her long tunic back on and give her some of her accessories. I'm going to have a final look at her. So here is Glitch in all her glory. Obviously she doesn't have that many accessories, to be fair. She has the phone, which I've got her holding, but you can probably not see it because everything's quite dark, to be honest. And she's also got a mic in her hand. She's not holding the compact, it's kind of on the floor in front of her. There we go. And she's got the mic stand next to her as well. Considering she was a doll that I wasn't planning on getting, I'm actually very glad that I did get her, because she is actually really interesting, and the whole kind of look of her and the style of her is very much something that I like, so I am really glad that I got her. Obviously I really like the whole sort of witchy vibes about her, but I also like the sort of the witchiness and the whole sort of tech look as well. In Babylon 5, which is a show I know a lot of people probably haven't watched because it's not quite new anymore, but there was a group of people called the Techno Mages who were basically wizards who would do magic, but they did it using technology, and I kind of see her in the same sort of way. I know it's a very sort of obscure reference, but I just wanted to put that in just in case there are any other fans out there who might sort of get that vibe from her. So what do you think of her? Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you've got her as well, and if you've restyled her in some way, or you know, you've made her a whole different character perhaps. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Please also subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please feel free to share the video with anyone else you know who might like this kind of content. And I will see you in the next terrifying episode. So until then, take care. Bye.